Just give me 1 second. All right. I hope my screen is visible to all in the presentation mode. If you are able to see my screen in the full screen presentation mode, please, please let me know with thumbs ups. Thank you so much for letting me know that the screen is visible to all of you. Um, as I mentioned when we started the session, due to certain unavoidable circumstances, Alpana Sagwal, who usually conducts all the ONOS webinars, and especially the platform training for ONOS sessions, she unfortunately is not able to make it for today's session. I will be presenting the session on her behalf. She will be back shortly, and for the future webinars, Alpana will be conducting herself. But today's webinar I will be conducting on behalf of Alpana. Before we begin, a few quick points to remember. As always, everyone is kept on mute, considering the number of people, the large group of audience that we have in today's session. Once again, thank you so much for joining us in such large numbers. Uh, the chat section has been disabled. However, if you have any questions during the session, please do feel free to put them in the Q&A box. Because it's just me today, I will be presenting. I may not be able to follow the Q&A box throughout the session, but I will make sure that we have a dedicated time for Q&A session towards the end, and I will make sure to uh, take as many questions at the end as I can. If there are any unanswered questions, Alpana and I will make sure that either we get back to you with the answers to those questions, or we answer those questions in the upcoming sessions. Recording of this session, as always, will be shared with you in the next 2 to 3 days. And once the webinar ends, there will be a very short feedback form with a few questions. It will really help us improve further sessions, and it will also help me tell Alpana that I did a great session in her absence based on the feedback. So that will be very helpful for us as well. But jokes apart, please do fill in the feedback form. It definitely helps us gain more insight into what you expect from us, and we can improve our future sessions accordingly. Today's session is primarily going to be focused on the live platform demonstration. Any questions regarding core access of ONOS, etc., I will be able to handle some of those questions. However, any in-depth questions, I will be sharing some contact details with you. Please write to those officials, or you can also send us an email, send up an email, and we will look into those questions as well. Uh, we'll start with a very brief introduction to what content you have available, and then we will go into how you can access that content and the different tools, tips, suggestions of using the Spring Nature platform to access the content with much ease. And after that, we'll of course have a dedicated Q&A session. For those who might be relatively new to ONOS webinars, just a very quick recap. ONOS, or One Nation, One Subscription, is a Government of India initiative to provide access to equitable access to scientific and research published content across India, regardless of your background, or regardless of the resources available to any institution. Currently, in its initial phases, this is accessible only to government institutions or publicly funded institutions. However, in the longer run, we do see ONOS expanding otherwise as well. But currently, ONOS is applicable to government institutions, publicly funded institutions. Along with Springer Nature, there are other publishers, total of 30 global publishers whose content is available through One Nation, One Subscription to more than 6,500 government institutions, both in higher education and research and development sectors. A total of 13,000 plus journals. The entire full text of 13,000 plus journals is available to all researchers affiliated to these 6,500 plus institutions. through digital mediums directly. There are two types of access models that there are. One is the IP-based access, that is Internet Protocol-based access, and the other is off-campus access, which is provided through InFed. And You can find more information about ONOS and its details on the website onos.gov.in. We'll quickly also go through the website before we get into the Springer Nature platform. If you have any questions, there is a dedicated FAQ section on the ONOS website. They are populating these questions as time passes by and as they find other new questions that have been frequently asked. Also, a very positive development recently in ONOS is the support for article processing charges. A central fund of 150 crore has been allocated. Each year, this will be allocated for high quality journals. The guidelines for all the journals applicable and how to exactly get the APC support has also been published on the ONOS website, ONOS portal now. So you can also go through those guidelines on the portal. There are 94 fully open access titles selected across publishers, basically the top 1% based on certain parameters as provided by the government. 94 fully open access titles are provided, and APC charges on based on certain parameters of selection will be provided under this scheme to all the authors from affiliated ONOS institutions. Now, before we go further, we have been doing these sessions earlier. As I mentioned, my Alpana Sagwal conducts these sessions. We have conducted these sessions on multiple different topics, some similar sessions on platform training, some sessions on research ethics, integrity, and AI, research ethics, integrity, AI. We've also conducted a session on scientific writing and publishing. And recently, we also did a session on research metrics. There are two parts of the research metrics session. One is a very basic session. The other session goes much more in depth in research metrics and not just focused on metrics themselves, but how you can also try to analyze the value of your research beyond metrics, how the value of your research can be analyzed based on how much impact the research has actually had on the society and the research community at large. You can scan the QR code here, or you can also go to YouTube and look for ONOS Researcher Connect, which is the name of the series of these sessions, ONOS Researcher Connect. You can also find all of the recordings, including this video's recording, will also be uploaded on the website quite soon. You can find all the recordings on the YouTube playlist, and you can watch all of these recordings at any time of a leisure. These are going to be there indefinitely, so you can go to the very first recording and start from there directly. All right. So, what journals are accessible to all the members affiliated under ONOS? So, uh, entirety of Springer Nature journals and including back files access from 1997 onwards. So if you are looking for an article that is prior to 1997, that won't be accessible through ONOS. However, right from 1997, all articles up till the very current articles published by Springer Nature are all accessible across the entire Springer Nature portfolio, which consists of Springer Nature, Palgrave, academic journals on nature, as well as ADIS journals. All of these journals combined, these are basically the subscription and hybrid journals. Of course, all the fully open access journal portfolio is already available for anyone to read, regardless of if they have a subscription or not. However, these are the paywall journals which have been opened up for all the ONOS members, regardless of what institution they come from, regardless of whether they have a subscription or not. Across Springer Nature, every single journal, including nature research journals, are available for you to access. Now, primarily, all of these journals are available on Springer Nature link. The website is link.springer.com. However, at the same time, we have also kept the nature branded and academic journals on an additional separate website. You can still access nature journals on link.springer.com as well. You can access every single Springer Nature journal on link.springer.com. However, nature having its own identity and certain people wanting to focus only on or wanting to read specifically nature journals or nature content, we have kept the nature website separate. So if you specifically want to focus on nature content, you can visit nature www.nature.com, or you are looking for broader access to content, including nature journals, you can visit Swing Nature link. This is how the platform looks. We will be doing a deep dive into the platform shortly. Now, if you have any queries focused on ONOS or access or implementation of ONOS, you can refer to this link, the FAQ section. I will be showing the FAQ section on the ONOS portal shortly. You can also visit the contact us page on the website or write to support@onos.gov.in. Now, this is regarding access or anything that is directly related to ONOS directly and not to specific publishers. For any kind of remote access setup related queries, you would write to infed@infilibnet.ac.in. However, if you have any queries that are very specific to Springer Nature, that regarding access to Springer Nature journals or regarding anything about Springer Nature journals, you can write to online service at springernature.com, or you can also write to Alpana at alpana.sagwal@springernature.com, and we will make sure that we reach out to you with all the relevant answers. Also, if you do not hear from any of these contacts, you can also get in touch with Alpana Sagwal, and we will try to find a solution for you as early as possible. Before I get into the platform training, once again, quick review on the repository. Please do visit the YouTube channel, and you will be able to access all the recordings for all such sessions right from the initial session that we've conducted. Now, let us dig into the ONOS platform. I will keep looking into the Q&A box. However, as I mentioned, I will be presenting, and hence looking at the Q&A section while presenting is slightly difficult. I would like to answer some of these questions. There seems to be someone's facing some voice problem. Please do let me know if my voice is not clearly audible. If it is audible, please do let me know with a thumbs up. If it is not clearly audible, please. All right. So mostly it seems that my voice is clearly audible. If someone is having audio issues, I would request them to please check their audio outputs, your speakers. If you still do not, if you still are not able to access the audio, you may try to leave the session and join once again. That would probably solve the issue. The chat box is currently disabled because it would be really difficult to follow all the chats considering the huge number of audience that we have here. We can track the question answer box relatively easily. All right. So also private universities, private institutions are currently not covered under ONOS. Currently, only government institutions and publicly funded institutions are covered under ONOS. We'll also look at which of these institutions are and how can you find which of these institutions are covered under ONOS. So, all right. So this is the one nation, one subscription government, excuse me, government portal. I will also paste this link on the chat box so that if you want, you can parallelly also look at this website while I present. So this is the main ONOS One Nation One Subscription government portal. All information about ONOS can be found on this portal itself. To first begin with, you already might be aware of how to set up your access account and how to access individually. As I mentioned earlier, there are two types of accesses. One is IP access and one is institution-based access. Uh, just to give you a quick overview of all the registered institutions. So far there are 5,621 registered institutions. However, there are still 1,721 institutions that have not registered on ONOS website. So if there are any librarians from one of these 1,721 institutions, please do register on the ONOS website. I will show you how. The reason being, unless and until the institution registers, the authors won't be able to register, researchers won't be able to register and access the content. So as I earlier mentioned, we have login-based access and we have campus-based access. You can also search for specific institutions in specific to ensure that whether your institution particularly is covered or not. You can specifically filter out these institutions. Now, how do you register for institutional registration? This is conducted by librarians. Uh, Once you click on institutional registrations, you will have to add the AISHE code. Once you have registered using the institutional registration, only after that the individual researchers can carry out the user registration, and it is only after they have carried out the user registration can they directly access the ONOS portal. Unless and until institute registration has not been done, the users cannot register. This is only a one-time process, and you do not have to register every time to access the content. This is only a one-time process. Uh, All right. Now, if you want to look at the list of all the registered institutions, you can also come on member institutions, click on registered institutions. You can search for your specific institution here or go through the list of institutions. For any registered institutions, if any researcher has any query regarding the access, you can also look at the details of the library contact details and technical information, people who you need to reach out in case you are facing any issues, especially if your institution has already registered, and you can see them in the registered institution member names. Now let's look at all the publishers and all the publisher content that is available on through One Nation One subscription. As I mentioned, the list of all the publishers can be seen here. If you specifically go at Springer Nature, you can also look at all the journals that are available by each publisher, and you can directly click on view journals, and the online journal list is also available. You can also download the journal list. You can also download the journal list here, and you will have the entire list in Excel format available to you. Now, while accessing these journals, you will have to go to link.springernature.com, Springer.com, to access the journals. You can also search for specific journals from the ONOS website itself by clicking on search. Either you can search for specific journal or for specific articles based on your subject area. Now, it won't let me access or search any content on this website because I am not a registered user. However, you can directly search on this website. Of course, if you try to access the full content or try to open the journal, you will be redirected to the publisher's website, and that is where you will be able to access the entire content. However, you can search through all the available journals and available content through the search and browse button as well. The information about article processing charges can be found in the APC section. As I mentioned, there is a detailed guideline which you can download and search. You can also browse for all the fully open access journals, or fully open access journals are those journals which do not publish paywall based articles. These publish only open access articles, and hence APC charges are applicable for all of these journals. There are two types of journals: diamond open access and gold open access. In case of diamond open access, the APC charges partially might be covered by some sponsoring institution. Gold open access are journals where the entirety of APC charges need to be paid by the authors. In this case, you can ask for the APC coverage through ONOS. The detailed guidelines can be found here, and also the process in which you can approach for APC coverage can be found on this website. Also, any updates on webinars or sessions that are going to happen, they have also started announcing upcoming sessions and webinars on the main ONOS homepage itself. So you can find that information on here as well. Now, let us get into our link.springer.com platform where all Springer Nature journals can be accessed. I will also share the link of this platform in the chat section. If any of you want, you can parallelly look in your screen while I present, and you can also parallelly do the demo along with me. I'll just quickly look at if there are any questions that need any immediate attention. Um, all right, mostly these questions I have already covered. Okay, so now let's directly dig deep into the Spring Nature Link platform. So Spring Nature Link is the home for all research at Springer Nature. Any content that is published by Springer Nature in any form, articles, journals, books, can be found on this platform. The broad structure of this platform, now our team, we have a dedicated team that works on this platform and works on improving this platform every single day. So this platform might change its look and feel over time. However, the core functionalities of the platform remain the same. This is a broad overview of all the content that is available on this platform. There are usually on an average of 185 million monthly downloads, 24 million monthly readers visit this platform to read the content, and we have 3 million authors that submit annually through the Springer Nature Link platform. Now, this section is the main primary section for all of you, where you will be able to search for different journals, books, content. We will get to this section in detail much more again. This section will give you information about open access publishing. If you want to know the fundamentals of open access or the details about open access, funding and support at Springer Nature provided for open access, any open access agreements that we have, everything can be found on this link. This will take you to the publishing portal where you will be able to look at a checklist for publication, any other details about publication, which Springer Nature journals and books. And track your research is a feature wherein authors can follow the process of their research paper and at what point their research paper is. These are some of the brands that imprints that form a part of Springer Nature. However, this is just a representative part of Springer Nature. All of these imprints have a dedicated web page for them. These we call as brand hubs. So for each of the imprint, each of the brand, we have a dedicated brand hub. That per specific brand or imprint can be found on that brand hubs page. So you can also visit specific brand hubs and look at specific imprint information through this section. Now, we also have introduced a call for papers. Call for papers are primarily for journal collections. Earlier, these were known as special issues. For any journal collections, if there is a specific, so for those who do not know what special issues or collections are, basically journal collections are a set of papers which are focused on a very specific topic. For instance, a journal which publishes papers on AI might decide on publishing papers specifically on automated vehicles or AI-driven vehicles. And a special collection will be created in which all AI-driven vehicle-related papers will be called and published. It has a separate editor of that special issue or special collection, and you can look at all the call for papers for all ongoing journals, all ongoing special issues or collections on this page. So once you click on call for papers, you will be taken to this page and you will see all the call for papers along with their submission deadlines, what kind of collection it is, whether the collection is currently ongoing, what journal the collection is looking for papers on. Broadly speaking, what the submissions are going to be about, what kind of submissions will this collection accept. All of those details can be found on call for papers. Now, this section will give you an information about all the research that is currently trending based on the kind of access that people are the kind of access that these articles are registering on our portal, and how many people are accessing, citing these articles. You will also find featured journals which our editors feel are important journals currently publishing important and relevant material content, relevant timely content. These featured journals can be found here. You can access directly the content based on subject area specific using this section. We will get to this section and dive deeper into this section later on. You can also look at all the featured books published by Springer Nature here. Just a quick information: books or ebooks are not covered under One Nation One subscription. One Nation One subscription only covers journal access. However, additional subscriptions, if your institution or library has for ebooks, then you can also access ebooks through this Springer Nature link portal. However, under ONOS, books are not covered, only journals are covered. Now let's dig deep into the primary feature that we all would be most probably using, is the search bar. Now we have created the simplest version of search bar. I'll quickly give you an example of how the search bar works. For, let's say, for example, I am looking on papers on nanomaterials. A simple keyword search would work here. Multiple keywords or single keyword can work exactly the same. Once I click on search, I will find an entire search window of all the relevant articles that the system thinks is relevant to nanomaterials. Now, nanomaterials being a very broad term, I am getting results that are absolutely inhumane for me to read through. So I will need to filter out this content further. So, for instance, if I want to look only at articles and not at book content, now this content type filter, I'll tell you how it works. Basically, first you can filter these research content out specifically only for journals or only for books. You will have all the journal, book, etc. content complete together available on this page. To begin with, I can first filter it out only for journals. Now, if I want only journals around nanomaterials, I can update those results, filter out only for journals. Now, just with nanomaterials name in the title itself, we will have 13 journals. I can do the same for specifically for books or conference papers, and I can also further filter out with kind of content that I want, not just journals, but I want articles or I want book chapters. If I look for only articles, these will include research articles, review articles, all kinds of articles will be included in the broad article umbrella. However, if I want to dig even further, I can specifically select what kind of article I want. For in this case, I want only research articles. I would update the results. Now you can see that from a huge number, we are at a slightly lesser huge number, but the number is still huge. I can not possibly practically go through all of these search results. So I will want to filter out further. Now I am getting results for a very long duration of period, and say I want to look only at research papers that were very recently published, say in the last 12 months. I will filter it out further with research only for last 12 months. As you can see, the number of results have gone down. I would want to filter it out further. I will use the subjects and disciplines and subdisciplines filters. Now, these three filters work in a broad to narrow category. The subject is a very broad category. Your discipline is going to focus it on a specific area of that broad subject area. And your subdiscipline, as the name suggests, is going to focus on very specialized subject area within that subdiscipline. Now, if I want to focus directly on a specific subdiscipline, I don't necessarily have to filter out first by subject, then by discipline, and then by subdiscipline. I can directly focus on discipline. For instance, I want to look at nanomaterials only in biotechnology area. When I update with biotechnology, all the research that is within the subdiscipline. Now, once I'm filtering with biotechnology subdiscipline, by default, it is going to filter out all the research papers in the subject and discipline area as well. As you can see, the number of disciplines has been restricted only to disciplines that are relevant to biotechnology subdiscipline. And as you can see, now the number of results are much more manageable. I can definitely go through these articles and check out which of these articles are going to be relevant for me and shortlist those articles to read later. Similarly, I can also filter out by SDG specific research papers. If my research is focused on any particular SDG, I can filter out all the research papers which are relevant to that particular SDG as well. We also have an accessibility feature for all the papers that have accessibility features. We are trying to include accessibility features in all our publications. So if that particular field or that particular area has accessibility features, let me show you. So such accessibility features can also be filtered out. For those who have accessibility needs, can filter out results based on these filters as well. Now let's once again focus on articles. Now in the search area, you have already filtered out based on what kind of results you are looking for, what category of results you are looking for. You can sort these by the date published or by relevance. When you sort it by relevance, the system is going to find articles which are closest to the keyword that you have put in here. And you can also filter out by oldest published to newest published articles. Now, in the list of articles that you can see here, on the top here, you can see a breadcrumb of all the filters that you have put in. For instance, I have put in, say, I add nanoparticles, environment, and material science. All the filters that I've put in are here. Now, as you can see, I have put in too many filters and there are no search results which match all of these filters. I can selectively remove only either of these filters. For instance, I can remove only environment and I will still retain all the other filters that I had applied. And I can use these trail of filters to track exactly what kind of filtration I have done in my search results and remove the unnecessary filters. Now, in the search results here, right in the first glance itself, I will get a lot of information about the article without actually having to open the article. To begin with, first, I will get to know what this article type is, whether it is article, whether it is research article, etc. Now, I can also look at the title of the article, a very brief information about the article, which broadly will tell me what this article is going to be about, whether this article is going to be relevant for me or not, the authors of the article, and the journal in which the article was published, along with the date on which the article is published. Again, as I mentioned, you can filter it out by oldest to newest. All of these basic information for me to shortlist the relevant articles can be found on this page itself without having to open the article. I can also look at the prominent images in this article, which will further let me know whether this article is going to be relevant for me or not. For articles that are open access, you will also see a tag here saying open access article, which means that regardless of whether you have access or not, regardless of whether you are coming through ONOS or not, you will be able to access this article. However, those which do not have a tag of open access can be accessed only through ONOS or a subscription. Now, we've filtered it out. All the articles that are seen here are relatively broadly important to us. I know that these articles are going to be helpful for me. Now I want to save this, maybe share this search results with someone or filter out further based on my particular requirement. What I can do is I can download all the search results by clicking here. The top 1000 search results in this list will be downloaded. I will show you here. As you can see, the top 1000, now in this case, only 171 results were there. However, top 1000 results are downloaded, and all the details about these search results are also present here, including the publication, the if it is a book, then what series it is, who the authors of this manuscript are, what article type it is, along with the link to that direct article also. So I can easily use this document to filter out or shortlist all the articles that seem relevant to me, and I can send this Excel file to any of my co-authors for review while I am in the initial literature review stage, and we can collaborate in a single document, and they can also look at all the articles that I've shortlisted, even if they do not have access to all the articles on Springer Nature link. Now, this is a very basic level of search that I showed you. Let's see, we also have a more in-depth method of search. Now, let us look at what we call as Boolean search. You might, for those of you who come from software background, might know what Boolean search is. Boolean search primarily is a string of different terms that ties in different keywords together and tells the system to search for specific keywords in specific combinations. The primary Booleans are and, or, and not. So these three terms basically determine a logic-based search parameters. I will show you how exactly you use these. As the name suggests, and suggests to the system that two keywords should be searched together. All the results should have these two keywords together in close proximity, or suggests that either of these keywords should be available in close proximity, and not tells the system that if I ask you to look for a keyword, do not look for this other keyword. So the other keyword should nowhere be in close proximity. I will show you this with an example. Let's say I'm looking for papers on automation. Now, again, I will have a huge number of research articles, but before filtering those articles out here, I know specifically what I'm looking for in automation. I am looking for automation that is relevant only in the field of healthcare. Now, if you see the top search results here, all the search results are from diverse backgrounds. Some have to do with vehicle automation, some are have to do with robotic automation, some home automation. Now, if I say that I want to look at automation, which is only relevant to urban housing or homes, then I can add and homes. So now the system is going to know that I am looking for articles wherein both these keywords are in close proximity. Now you can see the search results are directly focusing only on home automation. Similarly, if I want, say, healthcare, I can put an and all the research papers are focusing on healthcare. Now, I can also use additional combinations, permutations, and combinations of these. Now, let's say that when I am looking for automation and home, I'm getting a lot of articles on IoT or Internet of Things. I want automation, I also want home, but I do not want any articles on IoT. I already have a lot of information on IoT. I'm looking for research papers which are beyond IoT or which are focusing on automation that is not strictly IoT based automation. What I can do is first parameter, I can tell the system that automation and home, and then I can use the not parameter and tell the system I do not want IoT. Now, all the search results that the system is going to give me, it will filter out all of the papers in which IoT is in close proximation or IoT is the keyword density of IoT is higher in those papers, and it will focus on only those papers in which the keyword density of automation and home is more, and automation and home are coming closely together in those search results. I can use this kind of structure of filtration of Boolean search. What this structure is basically going to tell the system is that I want papers which have both automation and IoT together, but I want it only in healthcare subject area only. As you can see, IoT, healthcare, and automation. Now, if there is home available here, I can again use the not parameter, and I can play around with and, or, and not in multiple different ways to very specifically search for specific results that I want to look at. Now, these Boolean parameters can also be used in our advanced search section. So, for instance, I know exactly who the author is, or I am specifically looking at research papers from a particular author or a set of authors. I can use the author search parameter and add in names of authors with the or parameter or the and parameter, and the research papers by those authors can be found. If I know specifically that I want all the research that is conducted, that is published only in a particular journal, I can also look at those journal specific researches as well. Or if I know the specific title, or for instance, I remember that a portion of that title was something that I remember, but I do not remember the entire name of the title of that paper. I can use a partial title here and search for that paper as well. And again, I can filter out with number of years that I want to search this with. And similarly, I can use all these three Boolean operators in all of these sections to do very pinpoint, very specific pointed search. Now, let's say I already know this broad subject area in which I want to search for my articles. I can scroll down here. These are subject areas. Now, I know that my article that I want to look at is only going to fall in humanities and social sciences. I do not want articles that would fall in physics, chemistry, applied sciences, or pure sciences. I can click on specifically the subject area, and what you can see is when you click on that subject area, the system pre-filters the content for all the subdisciplines, disciplines, and subjects that are relevant to humanities and social sciences only. Now, from within this, I know that I want to specifically look at only criminology and criminal justice papers. I can remove all the other filters and only leave criminology and criminal justice here. For instance, I can uh, like this, remove the rest of the papers and use all the other filters here to search specifically within this category of predefined parameters. I can do this for all of the subject areas. These are the predefined subject areas that we have, and I can search for content in specific subject area as well. Now let's look at how a particular paper, the page of a paper would look like. Now, on Springer Nature, all research papers and all journal home pages are going to look broadly the same. For instance, let's say I open the scientific report home page. Just give me a second. Let's again do a search for automation. Right. So let's first look at the journals page. All the journal pages are going to have a broadly similar structure. Only the nature research journals or nature journals would have a nature specific research page. However, all other Springer Nature journals, their structure, their view, their look on the page is going to look exactly the similar. On the journals page, you will first, of course, look at the journal's title, the publishing model of the journal. If it says hybrid, it means it publishes both open access as well as paywall articles. At the time of acceptance of your manuscript, the authors are given the option to publish paywall or to publish open access. If it says open, then it means the journal is fully open access and does not publish any paywall based articles. You can directly submit your manuscript by clicking on this button, and you will also be able to get more information about the submissions. The broad journal metrics can be found here. The number of days that the journal takes for communicating its first decision. This is not the publication, the number of days in which publication will happen. This is the average number of days in which, after submitting your manuscript to the journal will communicate its first decision. You will also find the number of downloads. If the journal is if the journal has impact factor, the impact factor related details can also be found in the journal metrics here. Here is a brief overview of the journal. Broadly speaking, what the journal will publish, what the journal is willing to accept, what kind of papers, what kind of subject areas is the journal willing to accept, who are the editors in chief, if there is a single or more editors. You can also look at all the list of editors for the journal. If the journal has any call for papers ongoing, you can also find all the call for papers again for collections for this particular journal on the homepage itself. And all the recently published, latest published articles can also be found here. Out of these, if it is a hybrid journal, it will also tell you that out of the recent published articles, how many articles have been published in open access. And if the journal has any recent updates, you can also find those updates at the bottom here and can read more detail about that. At the very bottom, you can find all the indexing information about the journal, all the services in which the journal is indexed and abstracted in. Now, again, on the journal's homepage, in the About the Journal section. Now, what you see here is the overview and not necessarily the aims and scope of the journal. When you submit to a journal, you need to look at specifically the aims and scope and not broadly only the review. So in the About the Journal section, you will click on aims and scope. And these aims and scope are more specific and more definitive as to what exactly the journal would accept and what kind of papers is the journal looking for, what kind of subject area is the journal willing to accept is more definitive in the aims and scope section. The overview section is a broad information section. Similarly, you can also see the entire editorial board of the journal. In the About the Journal section, you can also look at the editorial policies, what details, what kind of policy the journal follows. If the journal has any AI related policy, what kind of submission related policies the journal have. All of this information can be found here. Any ethics and disclosures that the journal mandates from the authors, you will find under the ethics and disclosure section. If you want to use any material from this journal, you can find it under the rights and permission section, and you can also contact the journal from the About the Journal section. In the article section, you can look at specifically what collections has the journal published or is currently publishing, how many volumes, how many issues are there, and what articles has the journal published. You can also sign up for alerts. We will come to that in a little bit. And this section is specifically for authors who want to submit a manuscript to this journal. You can first look at the pre-submission checklist, which will give you all the information about all the commonly asked questions, all the information that you need to know about this journal, including the journal specific submission guidelines. Before submitting your manuscript, you can, these are short, informative modules, which if you go through, you will know exactly everything that you need to be prepared for before submitting to this particular journal. You can also, for hybrid and fully open access journals, you can also look at what is the APC charges. How do you publish with the journals? If the journal has any ongoing call for papers, if the journal is associated or provides any language editing services, you can find those here. And the journal update section, which you can, which you found at the bottom, can also be accessed through this section here. Now, once again, let's go to the journal's homepage. Another feature that I would like to show you on the journal's homepage. Once you are on the homepage, when you click on click on articles, you will see a sign up for alerts option here. Once you click on sign up for alerts, you can add your email address here and subscribe. Once you've subscribed, any updated content published by this particular specific journal will be sent to your email address, and you can follow the updated publications by this journal by following this journal and subscribing or signing up for alerts for this journal. Now we've looked at the journal's homepage. Now let us also look at a specific articles page and how the article page broadly looks like. Let's take this article that is published in Scientific Reports. Again, the article page is broadly going to look similar to what the journals page looks like. The structure is going to be similar. On the articles page, you can quickly look at what journal the article is published in, the title of the article, the model of publishing of the article, whether it is open access, whether it is a hybrid or behind a paywall, what the date of publication, the volume and number of article in that particular volume that has been published. You can also look at all the authors of the article right on top here. The envelope symbol suggests that this author is the corresponding author for the article. And if you would like to communicate with the authors, this person is the one who you would be communicating with. If you click on the envelope symbol, you will be able to find the contact details for the author. However, all the other authors who are not corresponding authors, you will only be able to see their affiliations and ORCID profiles, but not their contact details. Only the corresponding author's contact details can be found along with the affiliations. Similarly, every author's affiliation can be found by clicking on their names. You can also see the top metrics of this journal, how many accesses, how many people have accessed this particular article, how many citations. This being a 2025 very recent article, it has only one citation, but for older articles, you will see the citation numbers. The alt metric score is the alternative metrics, which means that how many times this article has been mentioned either in public policies or on blog posts or in social media mentions, whether it is shared on Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. How many social media mentions has this article had? And you can also dig deeper into all the metrics here. On the main page, you can find the abstract of the article, and you can also read the entire article on this website itself. However, if you prefer reading a PDF file of the article and download the article for reading later, you can also click on download PDF, and the full article PDF will be downloaded. Of course, if you are accessing through ONOS, you can download the full article PDF As you can see, the entire article PDF is downloaded here with all the information, which is again similar, all the author names and the full article PDF as it is seen on the web page is downloaded in PDF format for you to read later. However, if you decide to access the article on web page, you can directly jump to different sections within this article. On the right hand side, you can jump to specific sections of this article. For instance, you have read the abstract, you know that this article is relevant for your research, but now you directly want to see whether the results of this article are going to be also relevant. If these are relevant, then you will go and read the entire article. You can directly jump to the results section and find what the results of this article are. You can also directly jump to discussion, conclusion, or any of the sections within this article and figure out whether this article is relevant for you or not. Similarly, you can also quickly go through all the figures that have been used in this article. If you want to see the full size image, click on full size and the image will be presented in the full resolution and size available. Similarly, in the figures section, if you want to know where in this article is this particular image used, you can click on view in article and you will be taken to the section where this image has been used. You can also look at all the references of this article right in the right hand section itself. However, you can also look at all the references at the bottom of the article on this page here. Yeah, here. You can also look at all the references at the bottom of the article. Similarly, if you want to reuse any material from this article for your research, the rights and permissions, if it is an open access article, if it is a paywall article, the permissions are going to be different. If you want to use anything from this section, you can click on the rights and permissions section and you will be directly taken to a form wherein you can quickly select the reason for which you want to reuse material and you will be taken to an automated form. Once you fill it, you will directly receive the permission to use a certain section of this article for the purpose that you have looked for. You can also cite this article. The details for citation of this article can be found here. If you are using any tools which help you add automated citations, you can also download the citation for this article in the RIS format, which can be imported in one of the citation tools and used later on. Now, I have read this article. I know that this article is relevant for me. I can directly look at other relevant articles from the article's homepage itself. For instance, after reading this article, I realized that this particular keyword or articles around this keyword are going to be even more beneficial for me. I can directly click on that particular keyword, and once I click on the keyword, the keyword related search filtered by all the article types that fall within the category of that article. These pre-filters will already be applied here. The keyword that I clicked on will already be searched here, and every article based on the keyword will be pre-searched for me. Again, I can add filters and do the same thing in this search area as well. Now, this shareable link that you can see here, if you are the author of this particular manuscript, this link is not available for the readers. However, if I am the author of this particular manuscript and I want to share this manuscript amongst those who may not have access to this journal, for instance, if I am a government institution affiliated author, I have written an article in a paywall journal which is accessible through ONOS only to government institutions, but I have a colleague in a private institution who is not able to access these articles. I can create a shareable read-only version of this manuscript. What I'll do is I'll log into this portal through my author's login that I created on this portal. I will log in through my author details. I will go to the article and click on get a shareable link. When I copy this link and share it with others. Let me show you. A readable version of the manuscript, the entire full manuscript, a readable version of the full manuscript is shared with anyone with this link. You can share this link across social media, across your colleagues, and it is perfectly legal to share the readable, shareable link generated like this. Instead of sharing PDFs, you share these readable versions so that the number of accesses, how many people are actually accessing your manuscript, can also be tracked using these readable links. And these links you can also directly put up on social medium as well instead of sharing PDFs with your colleague. However, your colleagues would not be able to download this article as this link only creates a readable version of the article. However, they can read through the entire article and they can refer to this article if they want in the readable format. This is only for the authors of the manuscript. Now, let's quickly go through. Excuse me. Now, let's quickly go through a feature on this journal called Find a Journal. This is specifically for authors who would like to publish their manuscript. But before that, I will very quickly go through the books and how the books page look like. Again, as I mentioned under ONOS, books are not accessible to all. However, if you have additional subscription for books, I will very quickly go through how books page look like and how you can interact with these pages. The books pages are relatively similar to the journals pages. However, in case of book pages, you can download the entirety of book. If the book also has an EPUB version available, let me show you another example. It should have an EPUB version. Right. So if the book has an EPUB version, you can download the entire book or the entire EPUB version. Again, if you have a subscription to this particular book or book series, similar to the journal's homepage, you can look at the overview, the authors, the number of accesses, the top metrics, citations, alt metrics. You can find the brief details about what this book is about. You can also look at the different sections of the book. Once you go to the particular chapter section, in case of all Springer Nature books, you can also download individual chapters instead of having to download the entirety of the book. If I am interested only in this chapter, I can either download this only this specific chapter instead of downloading the entire book, and I will be able to go through only this chapter, and I will have the PDF only for this chapter. As you can see, only a chapter specific PDF can be downloaded, or I can also read only a specific chapter from this book online as well. And the book page and chapter page again will be similar. I can download this specific chapter as EPUB or PDF, and all the information that is relevant only to this specific chapter can also be found here. Similar to an article page, even in a chapter page, I can look at all the different section and jump to a specific section within the chapter. I can look at the images that are used in the chapter and the references only specifically to the chapter level itself. I can look at the references as well. So this is broadly how a books page is going to look. I won't dig too much deep into the books pages because we are focusing on ONOS and journals. Now, I would like to show you a feature called Find a Journal. For instance, you are an author, you are looking for journals which are very relevant specifically to your subject area, and you want to publish your manuscript in a Springer Nature journal, but Springer Nature portfolio is more than 2000 plus journals. And it is sometimes very difficult to find specific journals which are relevant to your manuscript. And hence, we have created a Find a Journal tool. If I click on Find a Journal, this is the journal finder tool that we have. Excuse me. All you have to do is add the title, abstract, or keywords of a manuscript in this section. Now, I have already selected a manuscript title and abstract. I will just paste it here. This manuscript is a physics manuscript, symmetry and forced heavy fermion physics in transition metal oxides. Now I will add the title and I will add the abstract. If I have additional keywords, I can also add the keywords here. The more information about your article that you provide to the system, the better the system is going to be able to suggest journals for you. So once I have added all the relevant information in this find a journal section, I will come here and click on find journals. Now what you see here on top here is specifically for those institutions which have a transformative or fully open access agreement with Springer Nature. If they add their institution name here, they will be able to see which journals are covered under the agreements, basically the APC charges coverage under the agreement. They can see and they can filter out those APC covered journals as well. However, for this particular instance, we do not really require this feature, so I will not put anything in here. I will just add information here and I will click on find journals. Now, as you can see, the system has looked into the entire abstract, has analyzed the specific keywords in my abstract and title, and has presented all the journals that the system thinks are relevant to this particular abstract or this particular title. Now, I will just quickly give you an example what happens if I remove the abstract and only keep these keywords. The search results would slightly change. It will give me relatively more broader search results because my keyword parameters have increased substantially. Now, just to give you another example, I will also quickly add the first keywords that we used to show you how the system would look at these keywords. Now, as you can see, the system is looking at journals which are relevant to nanomaterials and medicine as well. So again, in this search parameter, you can also again see what the journal title is, what the publishing model is, what are the primary keywords from my search category which are relevant and which are the keywords around which the journal publishes. I will also be able to look at the impact factor, the number of downloads, the submission to first decision if I need a relatively lesser time period for publication. I can specifically look at journals with lesser submission to first decision. If I have an agreement, I will be able to look at open access journals and see whether my institutional agreement covers this particular journal's APC or not. Again, I can also download these search results with me. Uh, Again, if I have multiple authors and I want to communicate with them the list of journals that I've shortlisted, I can download the entire list of journal suggestions. And similar to the search results, I will have the details of all the journals, including the journal specific link. I will also be able to see what the journal publishing model is, the impact factor, per-year impact factor, number of days that the journal takes to communicate its first decision, and if I have an agreement, whether that agreement covers this journal or not. And I can share this Excel file with my colleagues and authors as well. Now, before we go to the Q&A section, I will also quickly like to show you the Nature platform. As I mentioned before, you can find all the nature journals on Springer Nature link as well. Just to prove it, I'll quickly show you. Even if I just search for nature and I filter with journals, you can see that all nature journals are also available on Springer Nature link. However, if I want to specifically focus on nature journals, I can also go on nature.com. Let me quickly share the link for nature journals here. www.nature.com is the link for nature specific journals. Now, a very important feature on Nature's website, you all must already know, but those who may not know about this, is Nature briefing. Nature briefings are a set of recent trends and recently published important articles that Nature's editorial collects and shares the details about these in a briefing format on your email IDs. So all you have to do is go to the Nature's website and you will find this pop-up bar coming in here for Nature briefing. If you add your email ID and sign up, you will be receiving the Nature briefings in your email ID. Uh, Now, if I want to look at all the journals available under the Nature portfolio on the Nature website, I can click on View All Journals. Net seems to have gone slightly slower. Right. So all the Nature portfolio journals can be found on this page. Unlike the Springer Nature link website, on nature.com website, you can specifically look at only Nature portfolio journals and Nature branded journals. You can also specifically look at Nature materials journals, communications, chemistry, or specific journals. Now, if I am on a specific Nature journals website, the structure is relatively similar to Springer Nature link, but there are tiny differences. On the journal's homepage, I will be able to see the latest issue here, the featured articles down here. The most recent issue, I can subscribe to the most recent issue, view all the previous issues, and look at all the articles published in the most recent issue. I can, in the explore content section, I can look at all the research articles, review articles, specific collections, or search with specific subject areas. In the About the Journal section is where I will find the specific aims and scope of the journal, any detailed information I want about this journal, including content types, the editors, the contact details, all of these information on the Nature website can be found under About the Journal. I can also find contact details under About the Journal. The publishing related information for this specific journal can be found here. If I want to submit a manuscript, it is under Publish with Us. Now, similar to journals on Springer Nature link, I can also click on Sign Up Alerts. Now, there are two kind of alerts on Nature website. The first alert was the Nature briefing that I mentioned. Nature briefing is an amalgamation of research across different portfolios, across different subject areas, and all the trending research material across different subject areas throughout the research community. However, if I come to a specific journal's homepage and then I click on sign up for alerts, I will be able to subscribe for that specific journal's alerts only. And just like I showed on Springer Nature journal, Springer Nature link website, any alerts, any recent papers published by this specific journal will be sent to my email ID. Another quick thing I wanted to show you is the Springer Nature Researcher Communities. This is a community platform that Springer Nature has. Again, the link has been shared in the chat section. We urge you to kindly join the research communities page. Here, all the researchers, the editors, this is a place where you can share your views, your ideas. You can get latest information about different activity, different journals. There are subject specific communities and subject specific author authored and editorial articles by our authors, different information about different subject areas. Basically, this is primarily a researcher driven, editor driven community. And this is a great way of building and increasing your network. So please do join. You will have to register for the first time, but once you have registered for the first time, you just have to log in and sign in every other time, and you can engage with your fellows researchers across the globe on this platform. Another platform I wanted to show you is the Source blog. Now, the researcher communities was more focused on the researchers and contribution by researchers and authors. The source blog is focused more on the publishing sector as a whole, but again, from an author perspective. Here, you will be able to read blogs about the impact of publishing, anything about open science, what Springer Nature is specifically doing, any updates, any new endeavors that Springer Nature is carrying out. All of that information that as an author you should be aware of can be found on this website. Anything new that Springer Nature is currently doing for its authors can be found on this website. Um, all right, now we have about 15, 20 minutes left, so I will stop sharing my screen and we will get to the Q&A section now. While I look at all the questions that are posted here, uh, please, if you want, you can start raising your hands. I already see a few hands raised. Uh, I will let you unmute yourself and you can please ask your questions. Uh, Ramavtar Singh, sir, if you have a question, you may please unmute yourself. Ramavtar Singh. Okay. Sabrinathan Shriramulu. I hope I'm pronouncing the names correctly. If I mispronounce any name, please forgive me. Uh, Sabrinathan, sir, do you have a question? You may please unmute yourself to ask a question. If not, I will move on to the next question. Anup Kumar Shukla. Shukla or Shukla. I'm sorry. There are two pronunciations. So, Anup Kumar Shukla, if you have any question, you may please unmute yourself. All right. Also, I think there might be some hands that were raised previously, so I'll just unmute Jay Hariharan, Bharat Somkuar, and Gitanjali Itiwari. If any of you have any questions, I have allowed you to unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself and ask your questions. If not, I will move on to the questions that are in the Q&A box, and if any other raised hands, I will let them ask their questions. I'm sorry I could not respond to your greetings in the Q&A section, but thank you so much for your greetings and thank you and a very warm welcome to all of you. Um, I have a question. As a private medical college, we are unable to register on ONOS. Yes, at this point, so ONOS, the first phase of ONOS, only government institutions and publicly funded institutions and research institutions, higher education and research institutions are eligible for registration under ONOS. Because it is a government initiative, we at Springer Nature don't really have a specific timeline as to when or how far in the future would private institutions will also be given access under ONOS. There is no clarity, specific clarity as of now. However, even we do hope that this happens soon, but at this point, only government institutions, publicly funded institutions, have access. So no, private institutions would not have access. However, you can always get in touch with us. I will once again share my contact details. If you would like to have access to Springer Nature journals, you can always contact Alpana on. I will share Alpana's email ID here, and we can definitely find a way of uh, getting access to your institution as well. Okay, I see another raised hand, Vinod Kumar Verma. Sir, you may please unmute yourself if you have a question. Vinod Kumar Verma. Uh, is anyone else able to hear them? It's not the case that it's just me who is not able to hear anyone, right? Okay, perfect. So, Deepak Madan, sir, if you have any question, you may please unmute yourself. Deepak Madan, sir. Yes,
Hello.
sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, yes. Congratulate your partner, your inputs that you provided at your program, the set cited program you told. But I wanted to ask one question from your end.
Yes, sir.
So, huh, if my question is related to when the change comes,
Mhm.
when the change and the changing circumstances, the
Yes, sir. Please
change
go
comes
on.
and the changing circumstances,
Mhm.
your presentation, uh, your set cited presentation, and your all the methods and all the inputs that they have cited at your the website you told about ONOS,
Yes,
but
sir.
at the changing circumstances,
Mhm.
they are not exist. They are not exist. They are not exist, um, because you understand the point.
Yes,
You
yes.
understand.
I think I know where you're getting, but if you could just elaborate it.
uh, if my elaboration is based on the inputs that provided at the website, that is very
Right.
limited in nature.
Okay, sir.
That is very limited in nature.
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
if you talked about, like, I have to talk about the one word
Mhm.
that I wanted to say
Yes, sir.
is uh, the hidden knowledge,
Mhm.
the hidden knowledge that is already exist, but
Okay.
have not seen and not presented in and and everybody knows, and it is not shown everywhere. It is not shown, the hidden
Okay.
knowledge that is inside ourselves,
Right, right.
which is
Uh-huh.
not existed at your websites, at
Okay,
government
okay.
websites. It's anywhere. I'm saying it's not existed. It's still not existed.
Yes,
because
yes, sir.
all the relevant information and knowledge that is already existed but have not
Right.
shown.
Right, sir. Sir,
That is not.
I would really appreciate you pointing that out. I've added an email address, Alpana Sagwal. We are always
I
open to
understand. I
feedback and
understand.
always open to
I,
yes, sir.
as well as you, and
Yeah.
all the members already know.
Yes, sir.
But the hidden knowledge is invisible. It's still invisible,
Right, right, right.
which is
I
not
do agree,
shown.
sir, and I would definitely would like to have a detailed conversation about this on you. I would really like to connect with you at a later stage. I definitely understand where you're coming from. If you could just allow me a moment, there are a few questions in the chat section. If you just allow
नहीं,
me, I would like
ये
to take
already
those first.
like the present session, your program coordinator has already disabled the chat section.
Sir,
Uh,
that's a operational necessity for now.
no,
We
they
have, sir, there's a question about how librarians can track the usage of metrics of individual journals under ONOS
no
through Springer
uh,
platform.
if
Yes, sir.
somebody, if any researcher or any presenter is presenting the facts, the important facts that are that are क्या कहते हैं, hidden,
We will
that is
definitely take
hidden
this into
that
advisement,
is
sir.
hidden from your government site,
Absolutely,
your
absolutely.
government
We'll
site,
definitely take this into advisement, sir. And from the
no,
next
it is
webinar.
hidden, it is hidden and not
Absolutely,
visible.
absolutely. So
It should
there's
be
a
visible.
question around librarians. There are a lot of librarians in this session. I would really like to take this question now. The usage tracking for librarians. So each institution has their dashboard as well for ONOS. And under this dashboard, they would be able to track the usage of the specific usage metrics through ONOS for their institution. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the librarian's dashboard. That is why I won't be able to show it. However, once an institution registers on ONOS website, there is a dashboard, institutional dashboard that gives them that information. If you are
नहीं
unable to access that dashboard
नहीं
or
नहीं
uh,
you talked about the librarians,
yes,
if
sir.
I want to answer it in
Sir,
the
sir, if it
library.
is okay, can we, there are other people who've raised their
No,
hands.
no,
We
I
will
want to
take
add
your
one line.
questions
I want to
towards
add
the
one
end.
line. I want to add
Yes,
the
yes,
one
sir.
line.
Yes, sir.
In the important journals, in the important publications, these are the important publications. These are hidden at your websites. That's
Okay.
the hidden. It is still hidden and in the libraries. It is in the big libraries. It is visible. It is visible and it is not shown in the क्या कहते हैं क्या आपके सिस्टम में एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता.
राइट, राइट.
It is
विल
not
विल विल
existed.
हम जरूर ये आपका फीडबैक डेफिनेटली मैं
नहीं
लूंगा
नहीं
और हमारी
आप
टीम को
मुझे मुझे
पक्का बोलता
वो
हूँ
आप
सर.
भी जानते हैं, मेरी बात सुनिए.
बिल्कुल
आप
नहीं
भी
सर,
जानते हैं, मैं भी
आप
जानता
प्लीज
हूँ.
सर एक दो
ये
मिनट दीजिए मुझे. देर आर अ लॉट ऑफ अदर्स हु वुड लाइक टू आस्क क्वेश्चंस. उनके पहले एक सवाल कर लेते हैं हम. टुवर्ड्स द एंड विल डेफिनेटली हैव अ डेडिकेटेड time for your questions as well, I promise. There is another question about could you please guide me on how I can submit my paper to Springer Nature and which journals would be best suitable for the research domain? I hope in the Find the Journal section, this answer was clear to you, Amreen Khan ma'am. If not, you may please unmute yourself and ask a question. However, if it is clear or if you want any specific guidance, please do let me know. Amreen ma'am, would you like to ask a question? Amreen Khan ma'am? Okay, no problem. Um, any funding opportunities for publishing of paper? Yes, ma'am. So, in case of funding under ONOS, as I mentioned, the APC coverage or APC fund has been provided under One Nation One Subscription to all the ONOS member institutions. However, there are certain parameters by which the selection of provision of APC charges for a particular paper would be decided. Those parameters, these detailed guidelines are available on the ONOS homepage. You may please refer to those guidelines. And there are certain parameters, there are certain protocols that they have mentioned, which authors would need to follow for coverage of APC charges. Can is Discover Civil Engineering a Springer Nature journal? Yes, Discover series is a Springer Nature series. Discover Journal series is a relatively newer series that we have started. These journals publish sound science. They do not necessarily focus on novelty of research. However, they do focus on high quality research publication. These journals are also working on a different mechanism through which we are trying to lessen the speed of first submission to decision by the journal. Of course, we are maintaining the high quality standards of publication that is expected by any Springer Nature journal. However, we are creating other mechanisms through which the speed at which decisions can be communicated can be improved, and Discover journals are one of these journals wherein the speed can be improved. There was a raised hand earlier. I don't see it anymore. If you have any question, you may please raise your hands. And also, any one of you who have already raised your hands, I've already allowed you to unmute yourself, so you can please unmute yourself and ask your questions. Um, Okay, important question. If anyone has completed his doctorate, his PhD, but are not affiliated to any institutions, how can they access ONOS data? Sir, unfortunately, at this point, ONOS data access or content access through ONOS is only available to institute authors or researchers who are affiliated to one of the ONOS member institutions. Private individuals, private institutions, private universities at this point do not are not able to access content through ONOS. The author or researcher needs to be affiliated to one of the member institutions to be able to access through the ONOS portal. Uh, any tips for beginners? We actually have earlier conducted a scientific writing and publishing workshop. The recording of that workshop will be available on our YouTube channel. I will also share the link of the YouTube playlist where you can find this workshop. And we will also take this into observation that tips and tricks for beginners or early career researchers is something that we need to work on, and we will ensure that in the near future we do conduct sessions specifically targeted to early career researchers as well. For the time being, I'm sharing the link for the YouTube webinar playlist here. I also quickly just wanted to mention here that the core presentation aspect of this webinar is over. So if anyone has any other commitments that they need to be at, it is okay if you want to and you need to leave the webinar right now. After the webinar ends, there will be a very short survey. It will be really helpful for us if you could please share your feedback, and we will be happy to implement that feedback and improve our future sessions. However, if you still would like to stay back, I am here. I will be answering any questions that come in. Mahesh sir, Mahesh Dhonde, I see your hand raised. If you have a question, you may please unmute yourself.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Is there any capping for APC charges for government institutions? How much?
So as of now, there is no specific capping on specific institutions or specific authors. However, as I mentioned, there is going to be a certain amount, limited amount of fund that is going to be replenished each year. And based on that, the decision is going to made by the government bodies as to who will be covered under who will be given the APC coverage and APC charges, benefit of coverage of APC charges. As much as I know, currently there is no specific capping on number of people or how many papers each person would be able to publish. However, I would certainly again go through the detailed guidelines, and then I would be able to answer a question with much more clarity. At this point, I have limited clarity around those aspects. I will make sure to go through the guidelines and answer this particular question. I will also share the APC guidelines link in here, so that if till the time that I can come back to you, if you want to look at the detailed guidelines, you can also look at the guidelines. But yes, again, based on my understanding of the guidelines, it is going to be a very case by case basis. There is no standard set of instructions or a broad blanket categorization. It is probably going to be on a case by case basis based on what research it is, what the affiliation is, etc., as per the guidelines. Most welcome, sir. Government college postgrad. Government college postgraduate student is trying to register under ONOS. If it is a government college, as I mentioned earlier, the institution will first have to register on the ONOS portal, and then individuals can register themselves as users. If your institution has not registered, you can go to ONOS homepage. Once again, I'll share the ONOS homepage link in chat. You can visit the ONOS homepage link, and under the member institutions, as I showed earlier, you can look at all the registered institutions. If you can not find your institution in the list of registered institutions, you may please speak to your librarian and make sure that your institution has first registered on the ONOS portal. And then, as an author or as a researcher, will you individually be able to register and access content through the ONOS portal. I have tried to register, but private colleges and universities are not coming under purview. Yes, private colleges and universities won't be able to register at this point. I'm really sorry if I'm skipping over a few questions because the paucity of time, I am currently focusing primarily on those questions which are very ONOS specific. If there are any other questions which I leave out right now, I will try and get back with you with those questions, or I will also share my contact details in the chat section. You can always get in touch with me as well for any queries which are left unanswered. Just give me a second. Neeraj.kanandikar@springernature.com. This is my email ID. If there are any unanswered questions, I will make sure to get back to you with those answers. Taki Ahmed, if you have a question, you may please unmute yourself. Taki Ahmed. Okay. Um, Recording of this webinar will also be available on YouTube. However, there is a little bit of time our communications team needs to work on these videos. They need to convert it to YouTube applicable formats, and then they will upload it to YouTube. However, in the meanwhile, I will be sharing the recording of this entire webinar with all of those who have registered for this session in the next 2 to 3 business days on the same email ID that you have registered with. A recording of this session will be sent on the same email ID to all of you. Um, I do not see any raised hands right now. There are a lot of questions in the chat box, which I see that they have gone unanswered. Okay, I have raised questions. Sandeep Kumar, sir. Sandeep Kumar, do you have a question? You may please unmute yourself.
Sir, can I want to soft copy of this webinar?
The presentation, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, I mostly showed the live platform demos, so we don't really have a platform demo presentation. However, let me quickly share my screen. The ONOS website itself actually has detailed guides. Just let me show you. If on the ONOS website homepage, if you go in publishers section,
Okay.
and at the bottom here, there are user guides. When you click on user guides,
Okay.
each publisher's guide is available here. So the same platform demo that I gave you under Springer Nature journals, if you click on user guide, the details of this platform and how to use the platform, right from signing up to the platform to all the features on the platform. As I mentioned, the article pages, the journal pages, all of that information can be available, can be found on this guide document here. Again,
Okay.
on the ONOS homepage under publishers and user guide, under user links, user guide.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And similar guides can be found for all the publishers whose content is available on through ONOS.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Arunagiri Nathan, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Arunagiri Nathan Narasingam.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
I hope I
With
pronounced the
regard
name
question,
correctly.
sir, I have a question. With regard to APC funding,
Yes, sir.
they are supporting 100% funding or partial funding?
Sir, as of now, as much as I understand, full APC coverage is there. However, regarding APC coverage, because this guideline is relatively new, unfortunately, I have not been able to go through the guidelines in very detail. I will make sure that I study the guidelines properly, and I will get back to you about this question as well. However, as much as I have understood, based on my preliminary review of the guidelines, if approved, the APC charges will be covered in full. Again, the parameters for approval are there, but as I understand, the APC charges are to be covered in full. However, again, as I mentioned, I will go through the guidelines. I will get back with more clear information on this, certainly.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Um,
Thank you, sir.
okay, most welcome. Oh, sorry, were you trying to say something? Dr. Shweta
That's a
Kulash.
very nice presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm really glad that you found benefit and value in it. Dr. Sweta, Dr. Shweta
Oh,
Kulashreshtha.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
important question மட்டும் தான் answer சொல்லுவேன்னு சொல்லிட்டாரு.
Sir, I would like
Sorry?
to know by what time private universities will be included in this ONOS West?
Ma'am, as I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, as of now, there is no specific timeline that the government has notified. We hope that maybe in the next phases, the second or third phase, maybe the private institutions might be covered. However, there is no specific year-wise timeline as to when private institutions will be covered under ONOS. We are really sorry. We don't really have a very specific indication on that.
Okay, okay,
However,
thank
as I mentioned, if you are looking for access through, I mean, if you're a librarian or you're looking for access to Springer
you.
Nature journals through
Yeah,
any other mediums, you may please contact me or Alpana. I'm once again sharing our email IDs.
yeah, sure. Because we need to get some information about the published articles and
Ah,
how can we access them.
right,
So,
right. I've just put in both her email IDs. You can please
yeah,
write to Alpana, or in her
yeah.
absence, you can also write to me.
Okay,
And we will definitely get in touch with you and try to find a way out for you as well.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And
Most
very
welcome.
nice presentation.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah,
Uh,
explaining in a very detailed way.
Thank
So
you,
it
ma'am.
was good explanation. Thank you.
I'm really glad you all found it helpful, ma'am.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
just quickly, so we have, just a second. So we have our social media handles. As I mentioned earlier, the YouTube channel link is also available here. We also are available on Instagram and Facebook, where any updates about our webinars, our any activities that we conduct can be found on any of these social media channels. So if you are active on these social media channels, please do follow these social media channels. Also, a very quick overview of the webinars that we've done so far till December. All these previous webinars, some of these platform trainings, some scientific writing workshops, research integrity, and workshops on research metrics, and of course, artificial intelligence in research. We have been doing different workshops either on every month or bi-monthly basis, and we will continue doing these workshops. So please stay tuned with us on different social media websites, and we will also send emails about our future webinars under ONOS to all of you. And we will try to cover different topics, different subject areas for all of you. If you also think that there are certain specific subject areas or topics that you would like us to talk about, or if you would like us to invite some of our editors to talk to you about any certain topic, please feel free to share your ideas in the survey form, in the free text in the survey form, and we will try and make sure that as many topics as we can cover, we will try and cover those in our future sessions as well. Pawan Kumar, sir, do you have a question? Pawan Kumar? Neha, oh, sorry. Yes, Pawan, sir, please do. Please, Pawan Kumar. Okay, in his absence, Neha Sharma, do you have a question, ma'am? Neha Sharma. Okay. Well,
Yes,
we,
hello.
yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have a question that as our university has already been taken the ONOS subscription. So, as I am a researcher, sir, research scholar. So, if I wish to publish my research paper in ONOS subscription based journals. So, is there any discount that have been given to the subscribed users of ONOS?
No, ma'am. Actually, ONOS only provides reading access to all the journals published by all the publishers. However, when it comes to publishing, first of all, if you are trying to publish your articles in subscription or paywall journals, there is no APC charges involved when you are publishing in any of the hybrid or paywalled journals which Springer Nature. By definition, subscription journals do not charge authors for any kind of publishing charges. The publishing charges are charged to subscribers. It is only in case of fully open access journals, journals that do not publish in subscription mode at all. Only those journals will charge article processing charges. The subscription journals do not charge any article processing charges. So regardless of whether you fall under ONOS or not, you can always keep publishing in a subscription journal without having to pay any APC charges. It is only in case of fully open access journals which publish only open access articles with APC charges. These APC charges are covered under ONOS, again based on certain parameters, based on first come first service, first serve principle, given based on the funding that is available for APC coverage. But yeah, to put it again very simply, subscription, no APC charges, only fully open access will have APC charges.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
All right, we've actually pushed way past the timeline for today's webinar. I am wholeheartedly thankful for all of you who've stayed back till the very end. Once again, thank you for signing up and joining this webinar. I wish you all a very wonderful,
Thank you, sir.
pleasant, relaxing end of the year and a very positive 2026. We do look forward to see all of you in 2026. Again. Yeah, I see a lot of laughing faces. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
25 definitely was not very great for some of us. So yes, we genuinely hope that 2026 is much better. Thank you so much. We will. I'm
Thank you so
quite
much.
certain we will continue seeing you in the next year as well. Thank you so much. Once again, wish you all a great new year and a very positive publishing and research journey to all of you. Again, lastly, a small request. Please do fill in the feedback form. It will really help us improve our future webinars, and it will also help me tell Alpana that I conducted a nice webinar. Just joking, please do fill in the feedback form very impartially. I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Thank you so much.